All right, back to new business. We have a discussion item 10F.
You got another thing.
You got, yeah.
That didn't surprise me.
Friday packet.
Yeah, it did. They put them two together. So I'm not gonna worry about it. I think they all say the same thing. Okay.
Any discussion?
This is on here for discussion. May I make a comment, Mayor?
Yes, sir.
This is an ethics complaint. Obviously, we don't have the authority to rescind it. I will tell you, and I talked to Mayor Mack, former Mayor Mack, about this. It seems like, and was verified by Mr. Wright, that he did make the phone call. And he even indicated that he even made the comments. Now, the part that I find particularly offensive is that now he's not saying one way or the other, which might, I mean, it shoots his credibility completely out the window. I think Mayor Mack has even made comments to that. On the other hand, we went through a long, arduous investigation in the past. Most of us will remember with Hatton Wright and that whole situation. And I don't believe we ought to do any less with this. And I don't think that there's any. I think probably what we need to do is that we need to have an investigation to the point where we go to Mr. Wright's and let him go on record saying nothing ever happened. But I believe if he's going to make comments like this, he needs to be held accountable for his comments as well as, you know, in the prior investigation there were some others that had to be held accountable for their comments. I will tell you,
conversations with Mr. Wright prior to the filing of the complaint by his wife, so he would not have any ability to say what did or did not occur, because I never spoke to the man.
Well, I will tell you that I don't find him to be credible at all. There are some questions. I don't know what the answers are. I don't believe that, personally believe that there's anything to this, but I believe in the essence of just getting it out of the way. We probably need to take about 3 or 4 days, let somebody look into it, and then come back to us with what we all expect.
Well, because we're all becoming way too familiar with the policies lately, you will recall that at our April meeting, the city attorney advised that if and I'm trying to speak for her instead of putting you on the spot because you weren't here, but feel free to interrupt if you think I've said something inaccurate, advised that if a claim of a complaint were raised under the ethics ordinance, that the city commission had, I believe there were 3 choices, to determine there was no merit, to determine that there was merit, or to determine that there was sufficient merit to warrant further investigation. We all know that this flat out says on its face that the complainant does not personally know if anything that has been written is true or not. Evidently several of you have talked to the purported phone caller who has, I've not spoken with him, but my understanding has been all over the board in his comments, and I personally am the only one who knows all the facts here, and I can tell you that there is absolutely zero validity to these allegations. So I would very much appreciate the commission making a finding of lack of merit, and I believe that the commission also received some kind of a legal analysis saying that even if there were something here, that it doesn't fall under the ethics policy. So let's quit allowing our well-intentioned ethics policy to be used as a club to beat people over the head with for no reason other than causing public embarrassment and trying to malign someone's name.
I will be the first one to tell you that as far as this is concerned, I don't feel like you should be embarrassed by this, because this is not about you at this point for me. At this point, it's I think Mr. Wright needs to be held accountable, and the only way to do that would be for us to be put in a position to hold him accountable by putting him under oath and letting him make.
We don't have any manner to put him to hold him accountable. He's not a city employee.
And if he doesn't, he can be subpoenaed by this body and can be held civilly in contempt if not if he doesn't comply with that subpoena, is my understanding.
I have no idea. We've never talked about subpoenas.
So, I mean, if that's what needs to happen, but I mean, I think that he needs to be held as accountable as the Ethics Commission has held you as accountable in the past. I don't think that he should be any less accountable for making brash comments.
Well, rash comments seem to be the order of the day.
Exactly, and I think that this would be a good opportunity for us to make them stop.
I think this is a good opportunity to
One way or
say
the other.
enough is enough. Just making stuff up and throwing it out there in the wind because you might be able to get some front page coverage and hurt somebody's good name is not sufficient, and I don't believe that we should put the Public Works Department through additional turmoil and uncertainty, and I certainly do not believe the top resources of this city should be waylaid with something so absurd on its face, nor should the citizens and our taxpayers be asked to shell out an additional large sum of money for a nonsensical investigation.
Well, I tell you, I'm not making a complaint, obviously. You know how I feel about it. I think I've been pretty clear. However, Mr. Mack here is in the audience, and he is the one who's made the complaint. So I think at this point we probably need to hear what he's got to say. It is a complaint, so.
Well, it is a complaint that says on its face, I don't personally know if any of this is true.
Again, I would like to hear what he's got to say.
That's fine. If you'd like to speak, you may feel free to do so. You have 3 minutes, sir.